So Busman, welcome on one of the top ranked players of 2023, Jeremiah Johnson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, kind of take us through this. We know obviously it's getting closer and closer to really getting into this recruiting process now. You're a part of 2023, but kind of just take us how you're feeling right now.
Uh, I'm really feeling good. Just really can't wait for summer ball to start for me.
hmm Obviously, you're going through rehab right now, but kind of give us an update on that. Like, when you looking to get on the court again? Just kind of take us through how your rehab's going.
Rehab's been going good. I do it Monday through Friday. Weekends I rest,
hmm
and it's just really just leg strengthening and stuff. Just getting my legs back strong. And that's really it.
So when do you think we can see you back on the court? I know we're talking a little bit before this started, but kind of give us an update on when you think you get back on the court, like what the stages are. Take us through that a little bit.
Basically from 1 to 10, I'm probably like a 7 right now. I'm really just basically just trying to get my run on all the way back. Once that comes back, I'm gonna be straight. But I'm gonna be working out by next month. Hopefully, then I'm definitely gonna be playing June, July.
Absolutely, man. Well, kind of take us through the high school season. We know it got cut short a little bit for you, but overall, when you were playing, you guys were 9-3. You were averaging 22 points per game. Kind of take us
Mhm.
through your sophomore year a little bit.
Sophomore year was real good. It was real fun. I feel like we got way better from my freshman year to this year. It was really just a good team we had. We had a lot of seniors, so I really wanted to win the state championship, basically for the seniors and stuff. Plus, I won one too. And then really, just my goal was for us to not lose no more games.
Overall, you are in state in Oklahoma, which might not be regarded as one of the better states as top to bottom, but you guys do still have a lot of top talent out there. We know Trey Alexander, Bijan's out there, Dante's out there too. What's like being a part of that?
Um, it's very blessed knowing that even though their guys are older than me, I'm still in the conversation when it comes to them and stuff like that. And I know all of them personally, like on the talking level. And it's just good knowing that they can just help me with anything I need, any tips, pointers, all that.
Are there any of them specifically that's kind of helped you a lot or kind of helped you the most?
Um, really, I look up to Trey like to what he did from his freshman year to senior year. I try to match that and even do better. And even Delonte, I just like the way he works so hard and plays every game like his last. So I just really get pieces off their game that I see and want to impact them on.
Obviously, there's still differences between you and Trey's game, but you guys are kind of that bigger guard. You guys can still score it well. How have you kind of learned in terms of on the court? Like, what's some advice you've learned from him or things you've taken from his game and put into yours?
That he just plays every game and every quarter like it's his last game, and he just doesn't he doesn't take his foot off the gas. He just try to kill you every game, and that he's just ultra aggressive no matter what the score is.
Ultimately, a guy like Bijan and Trey's gonna be moving on now to college. It's gonna become a you. Dungy's up there now. But how do you kind of plan to turn to becoming one of, if not the best player in the state?
I'm ready to really embrace the role because me personally, I thought I was the best this year, but next year, knowing that those top guys are going too, I feel like I'm definitely number one in the state.
This is pretty early on, but you've already been ranked at the beginning of rankings. You're a top 20 ranked player. And that's something that's pretty tough for a lot of guys. We know that sustaining a ranking, sustaining being an elite player for all high schools can be challenging for a lot of guys. How do you plan to do that though?
I really just try to not let it get too big. Just make sure to stay like the way I got there. Just make sure I keep working hard. Just try to stay level headed. Just keep doing the things I did to get there, and try to just knock it up a notch. Because I know everybody's working the same way I am.
When the first rankings came out, you saw your name up there. What was your reaction? How'd you learn about that?
I was really sleeping. I woke up. My dad texted me. He was like, "Go look at the rankings," and he's sitting to me, and I saw number 16 in the country, and I was just it was really a shocking because like that was the highest I've ever been. Like the last time I was ranked, I was like 50 something.
hmm
So like it was really just I was really blessed, but I was really just glad that people finally starting to realize my talents.
At one point for you though, obviously you said you always thought you're one of the best, not the best player. But when would you say started clicking? Like when did you start realizing, okay, I am one of the better players in the country. I am one of the top guys in 2023 and possibly even regardless of class.
Really, really my freshman year because my eighth grade summer I was just working so hard, and then I like my freshman summer. When I started playing with Bradley Beal, I started going down to camps and stuff, playing against the top players, all grades. In my grade, and I just saw how well I dominated and stuff, and that's just when my confidence just told me that I feel like I'm one of the best people, regardless of class, and definitely in my class.
Let's get into Brad Beal a little bit because that's where you'll be running for AU whenever you get back on that court and playing again. But why did you first start with them? Like, why is it the team you chose to run with?
I just feel like that it's just it's really a lot. Like I just love the way they run their program, how they treat their players, just stuff like like our older team and stuff. I know a few players like Nick Smith. I
Mm-hmm.
know him on the older team real well, his dad, and just how like they treat everybody like a family and stuff. And they're just gonna get me better.
Obviously, we know the guy that runs it all, and at the top of it is Brad Beal, and he's unique about it. We know there's a lot of NBA players that like to go out and sponsor teams, but he's really involved with you guys. Obviously, when he can, he's not playing and all, but he comes out, he coaches you guys for games, like he's at practices. Like, take us through what it's like having a guy of that caliber really invest in your guys' life.
Um, it's real good knowing that an NBA player, especially as good as Bradley Beal, can just give us pointers and come to practice, help us, stuff like that, and just knowing that somebody like an all-star can just give you any tips to get to the level where he at.
That first day you met Bradley Beal, what was that like, and how'd that all go down?
I met him at a Bradley Beal show, not really a showcase, but it was like a practice, but we was like an inner squad scrimmage, and like he was just talking to us before it all started, like just telling us just to go out there, play our game, don't try to do too much, don't try to show off, just go out there and just really just play, and then just focus on the little stuff.
And as your relationship has grown, obviously I know he's shown support with you for you during a lot of times that's happened in the past recent times. He's always kind of reached out. And also, like I said, he's a coach for you guys too. But what's like the biggest thing you've seen him kind of help you with in your life so far?
Really just keeping it real, like just saying what you need to work on, or what's like and what colleges and NBA people like look at.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you get back on that court for AAU, what do you want to go out there and prove? Like, what do you want? What kind of statement do you want to leave when you go out there and play this year?
Really just that I'm the same player as not the same player, but like nothing like as far as the incident, like nothing like it didn't turn my game down none. Like I only got better from it.
Let's get into some of those college offers because that obviously is the biggest goal for you. That's what you obviously want to do. That's the next level for you. So I look to that. I mean, you have a lot of offers on the table right now. Or who's kind of reaching out to your coaches the most? Like, what's the recruiting process look like for you right now?
Really the coaches just really just talked to my dad, but
Mhm.
so far I've just offers from OSU, OU, Texas, Tulsa, and then a couple more, but they really can't really talk to me as much right now. They really just talk to my dad.
You are a couple months out until they can start talking. You guys can really get in that recruiting process. How excited are you for that?
Oh, I can't wait to finally like talk to the coaches like face to face and then on the phone and stuff, and hopefully take some visits and stuff just to see how the school is. But I can't really wait to get like a real relationship with the coach from like me and him.
Mm-hmm. Let's go a little bit into these programs. Like as you said, you obviously haven't talked too much with them, but just from what you see, what you like about the programs. Let's start with Oklahoma State. They obviously have done an incredible job this past year with a lot of different things. What about Coach Boyan in that program?
Oh, I love OSU. I've been watching OSU a lot, especially this year. I like the way they treat Cade and also Rondell Walker. I played against him a lot in school ball. Him going to PC West, and I just like the way he just had I just like the way his players play. I didn't see a couple of their practices, how they practice, and just how he like interact with the players.
I think the biggest thing is that guys always want to see how do coach handle a top ranked guy like yourself. And like you just said, you just took a guy that was number one player in the country. It's probably keeping him at that. He's going to be the number one pick or at least top three for sure this upcoming draft. And you said Rondell as well. How impactful is that when you see a program take a guy as a top ranked player like yourself and make them an NBA player in 1 or 2 years?
Really, just like you want to know how they're gonna treat you. But like if you're a top player and they have a top player and they treat them good, like or if treat them bad, like you want to see how they treat a top player, like if they're a priority to them or if they're just another player to them.
Now that would be staying home too. Is that something that's appealing to you? Would you like to stay close to family, close to home?
Not really. It really don't matter where I go. I'm just trying to really. The college I go to really just gonna depends on like the fit, coaching staff, and just what they can do for me.
Oklahoma State was your first offer, and that's a big one to have for your very first one. What was that day like? How did that all happen, and how did you learn they got that offer?
Oh, it was real good. I was on the way up to my school to shoot around for a little bit, and they ended up calling my dad. And then that's when like my dad ended up telling me that OSU offered me. But it was real fun. I was really excited and stuff. Told all my family and stuff. But it was a real good experience. Like I was really excited though.
You also have another hometown one, Oklahoma. We know there's been a coaching change now. At least soon will be a Coach Kruger stepping down, retiring. But overall, we don't know exactly what the new coaching scheme will look like. But just the program as a whole, it's a legendary program, has a lot of history. Big 12. What do you like about Oklahoma?
I like about Oklahoma, like the way they let their players go. Like I saw how they did with Trey
Mhm.
and just Buddy Hield, and I just like, and that's just a good school in general, like academic wise, all that.
Like I said, we don't know who they're going to hire head coach, but for you personally, what would be a dream coach if you could make someone up that is maybe older, younger, like more energetic, a strict coach? Like, what do you kind of want for a coach? Like, what's the dream coach look like for you?
Um, Really, age don't really matter, just long as they understand like the new style of play is that it is now, not trying to like make us play like how they used to play back in the day. Like really just, and also just let their players go and just have trust in their players to do what they got to do and to make plays.
You personally, what would be your play style? Like, what's the type of playbook you want for yourself?
I like to just get it and go offense where you have freedom to do what you do, but at the same time, where it's structure where you like gotta like you run plays and people in their spots and like people doing what they can do, they roles and stuff like that. But at the same time, I like it to where you got freedom to do what you can do.
Another one you have is Illinois, and that's a huge one. We know they were the number one seed, got upset a little bit early on, but still an incredible season, nothing less for them. What about Coach Underwood in that program?
I really don't really know much about Illinois yet because like they can't really talk to me. They only talk to my dad, so he probably know more than I would. But I've been watching them play, and I like their play style a lot.
I would be moving a little bit further away. Illinois, a much different kind of state than you guys are in. Is that okay with you? Would you not mind living in Illinois? Like, what does that look like for you?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind going down there. It's really just the fit. Like if it's a good fit and
Mhm.
they can help me get to the next level, then it wouldn't be no point going. I mean, like it wouldn't be bad going to Chicago for college.
Another school you have is Texas. Once again, they have a coaching change there, but overall, just once again, the history they have there. What do you like about Texas?
I like the way Texas guards is this year. They guards is real nice. They coach let them go, make plays in the same time like they make them play like they team play real hard, extremely hard.
And there's another hometown one for you too in Tulsa, which where Dante just went. That wouldn't necessarily be a high major. It's more of a mid-major feel. But that's something that's okay with you. Would you not mind going to mid-major? What do you like about Tulsa?
Tulsa's a good school too. Really, like any offer is a good offer, no matter really what level it is,
Mm-hmm.
because you have a chance to go to the league from any level. But Tulsa's also a good school. Like they Anthony Pritchard just committed there. Tay's going there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna be a really solid team.
You said something that's pretty detailed. I know a lot of guys always look at the high major and say that's the only place I can go to make the NBA, but a lot of people are starting to realize that you don't have to go to a high major. You can go to mid major. Even some guys can go low major and still make it out. Who kind of
Yeah.
established that mindset in you, though?
Really just when you think like if you think about it, like a lot of players in the NBA, a lot of them went D1, but also a lot of them went either JUCO, D2, and just worked their way up. And because a lot of them weren't blessed with the opportunity to get a D1 or grades, so they just had to figure a way how to get it. People go to the NBA from overseas, D League. So just a lot of you don't have to just go high D1 just to go to the NBA.
I know a big attracting thing for a lot of guys when it comes to recruiting is the potential of teaming up with someone. Is this something you've talked with anyone? Is this something you'd be interested in? Like, who are some guys you might talk to possibly teaming up with at the college level?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind teaming up with anybody. Like Tatum talked to me about coming to Tulsa. What's it called? I didn't talk to Jamie Fears about going to a couple of schools, but
Mhm.
it's really at the same time you really got to do what's best for you. Like when you go to college, you really got one more year to either go to the NBA or just mess up or just mess it up. So playing with one of your teammates, anybody would be cool, but at the same time you got to do what's best for you though.
Mm-hmm. If you could put together a roster, if it's five guys, you obviously would be starting at the point guard, shooting guard kind of role. Who else would you want? Who's four other guys that you think you play the best with that you'd like on kind of your dream 2023 team?
2023 probably me, Thorne, probably Mikey at the two, Elijah Fisher,
Mm-hmm.
uh, JJ Taylor, no Omaha, and then probably JJ Taylor.
Have you talked to any of those guys? Is that possibly a lineup? Because we know if those five, if you five just had a team at college, that would be one of the better recruiting classes we've ever seen. But what would that possibly do if you guys ever did unite for some kind of tournament or team? How special could you guys be together?
That team probably be unstoppable. I wouldn't see us losing to no teams because I didn't personally talk to all of them except probably Mikey Williams. I haven't talked to him before.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't talk to Omaha a lot because he didn't came to a couple Bradley Beal things. I done went to a couple camps with JJ, and I've been out of camp with Elijah Fisher before too.
I want someone to kind of get to know you a little bit more because we do know obviously you are an elite player, but because of the COVID, people haven't necessarily able to see your game as much as a lot of guys typically do by the time you guys are sophomores. Kind of describe your game a little bit. Like, what do you bring to a team? Kind of describe your game a little bit.
I'm really like a really just a balanced player. I can do everything, but the best part of my game is probably just shooting, playmaking, and then really just I like my athleticism came a lot from freshman year to this year, so I done got way more athletic, can handle it. But the best things in my game is probably shooting and playmaking though.
You are a pretty big guard too, 6'4", near 6'5". How are you going to use that into your game and become kind of a big guard?
To be honest, I really just got this tall. Like last year, I probably about 6'3", and it was good. But like I'm really actually just now getting this tall, so I ain't really got to really use it yet.
Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is discussing something you do have in your bio. They hate to see you win, but losing ain't an option. Take us through that a little bit and what that means to you.
Like, to me, like when you're doing real good, a lot of people don't like seeing that because like if you're doing good, if you're doing better than them, don't nobody want to see that. But I'm not trying to do it for nobody else. So really turning it down or losing just so they could be happy, I'm not worried about that.
Absolutely, man. Well, for me, I was like wrapping up discussing your legacy, and that's something I know all guys want to create for themselves. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
Really just being one of the best players to ever play, being one of the best kids too. Like I know some kids just really just hoop and like don't really care about other people, but like really being like a nice person off the court, but just being somebody you could talk to. Also being one of the best, and also just knowing what I had to like overcome and still making it.
For sure. You kind of discuss faith a little bit. How would you say God's kind of helped get you to the point you're at today?
Oh, good. I probably wouldn't be playing if it wasn't for God. Like God didn't really got me everywhere. I wouldn't be. He really did everything. He the reason why I'm good, this tall, playing, look like this, can do everything I can do. Like he really is the reason for everything.
Is there a certain point in your life that you've really seen God show through your life the most? You really seen him show up the biggest so far?
Yeah, probably at the beginning of my sophomore year. Like I was athletic, but I used to like just pray every night and stuff that like I become more athletic and stuff. And then one day, like I went from just barely dunking to like just windmilling. So I was like, that's when like it really like that's when it really hit me.
Now, when was your first dunk?
Man, my first dunk was my 8th grade summer. I was at the Hob during the workout with Team Griffin. And afterwards I just threw myself alive. And then like I just ended up dunking it.
Now, like you said, you applied the windmill, you're a lot more athletic. When did you start realizing, like, when was the day, or when did you start realizing that you really increased your athleticism a lot?
At the beginning of my sophomore year, like when my school team was used to work out have team practice at Santa Fe and stuff. Like I was just doing a lot more dunks I couldn't do, like effortlessly, way easier, getting way higher. It's just I was just doing dunks I couldn't do before in a short period of time too.
Absolutely, man. Well, final thing for you, give everyone your three biggest goals you have set for the remainder of your high school career.
Definitely win state, win Peach Jam, and really just try to win a Gatorade Player of the Year.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, and I look forward to see what I got next for you, man.
All right, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome on, man. God bless.
You too.